Well, we have a Game 7 on the books in the Western Conference semis on Sunday night between the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, where this year's league MVP Nikola Jokic will be trying to get back into the Western Conference Finals for the chance to defend his NBA title from a year ago. But there was a little running commentary percolating around the Talking Heads hot take factory just about 10 days ago when Jokic was announced as the MVP this year that of course he didn't deserve that honor, his third in 4 seasons. Pretty predictable, as the inept bums masquerading as journalists these days seem to be on a never-ending quest to destroy Nikola Jokic's legacy. Last year, it was the push to cheat him out of a third straight and give it to Joel Embiid. And this year, it was, of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's turn to be anointed as the real MVP by these pathetic Jokic haters in the mainstream media.
He is the worst MVP winner in the last 40 years.
Most valuable player in the league, that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the league MVP. He's getting my vote. I have a vote. He's getting my vote.
But coincidentally, on the other side of the Western Conference bracket, Alexander would meet the third MVP finalist of this season, Luka Doncic. A guy who, frankly, fit more of the statistical profile of Joel Embiid a year ago. It was Luka who led the NBA in scoring this season like Embiid did a year ago, and in fact, Luka averaged more than Embiid last year, much more, nearly an entire point per game more, and that was while Luka finished third in the NBA in assists per game this season, coming up just 1 rebound shy of averaging nearly a 34-point triple-double per game. But in the ignorant and inconsistent world of sports talking heads, for whatever reason, SGA was their guy above Luka. And last night, it would be Luka defeating the SGA-led Thunder in Game 6 of their Western Conference semifinal round to eliminate the Oklahoma City Thunder and move on to the Western Conference Finals and await the winner of tonight's Game 7. And the win for the Mavericks coming in a game they trailed by 17 points in with 8.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. But this year's MVP runner-up, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, likely won't be catching any strays for failing to close out this 17-point lead and stave off the Thunder's elimination. In a series where the 1-seed Thunder had home court advantage. In a series where the 1-seed Thunder were favored. In a series where the 1-seed Thunder not only squandered their 17-point lead in this game, but also failed to win Game 5 at home in a series that was tied 2-2. Likely we won't be hearing any criticism for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the outcome of this series. A 1 seed with the second best net differential for the season, trailing only the historically relevant Boston Celtics in that metric. The Thunder's differential this year was better than the Timberwolves by a point and by over 2 full points better than the Denver Nuggets. Likely we will hear only excuses though for Shai, and frankly, he deserves them. This was a young Thunder squad that entered the playoffs looking pretty thin in the front court and notably lacking in size that likely should have been addressed at the trade deadline. And Shai, for his part, was sensational in these playoffs, and he was leading the youngest team in NBA history to attain that number 1 seed. A team that will have cap movement in the summer and will be contending for many years to come. This series and this outcome isn't about burying Shai or killing the Thunder, but damn it, can we please collectively give a tip of the hat to Luka Doncic, who is now entering his second conference finals of his 6-year career. his second in the last 3 seasons. A guy who got absolutely crushed for missing the playoffs a year ago is now back into the Western Conference Finals on the strength of his 29-point, 10-rebound, and 10-assist triple-double last night. It was his 3rd consecutive triple-double in this series. And now we need to start having some conversations about Doncic, who hasn't exactly had viable rosters surrounding him throughout his first 6 years of his career, yet is now into the conference finals for the second time by just the age of 25. Media darling Joel Embiid has never been out of the second round at all in his entire career and is 30. Chris Paul, the media-anointed point god, has himself played in only 2 conference finals, and that is in his 19-year career. Michael Jeffrey Jordan has the highest per-game scoring average in NBA playoff history at 33.45 points per game. And there is only one player in league history other than Jordan who is averaging at least 30 per game for their playoff career, and that is Luka Doncic. And to accompany those 31 points per game for his postseason career is 9.5 rebounds and 8 assists. Can we put some respect on this guy's name? And while we await the outcome of one plumber series on the one side of the Western Conference playoff bracket tonight, we already have one plumber through in this super era, and the Mavericks will be a tough out from here, as they have been the #1 rated net defense since the trade deadline, have a viable superstar second option in Kyrie Irving, and are led by the great Luka Doncic.